Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin and Cardano. Cardano continues to be the lone wolf here in the top 10 as we speak. The price is just going up again. And yeah, it's the bulls and the bears are still fighting around 154 and 155. So the 155 resistance support level. So we're going to take a look at that. There's also a price target I want to give you for the next possible pump to the upside. So we're going to take a look at that. And you know, the good thing is on this channel, we've been talking about Cardano for, well, since the channel was started really, and we've been talking about Cardano while prices were going up and while prices were going down. Now a lot of other people are starting to talk about Cardano again, which is great for us as well here, because it just increases the interest and the focus on Cardano. The sentiment is changing for Cardano. That's what we've been talking about for weeks, that we see the sentiment changing, see the sentiment shifting. The news are getting more bullish. More and more DEXs are now coming out. Sunday swap news was maybe the catalyst that was just needed. Sometimes you just need a catalyst to really let the sentiment really focus, and this is what is happening at the moment. And the good thing is, you know, we expected it. I've been with you through this period of this difficult period really, and it wasn't easy, I tell you that, and you know that. But we've sticked with Cardano, and I think, looking at the chart at the moment, it could really be the start of something big. I mean, it's still early days, and I'm careful because we don't want to be too excited here. And however, it's looking really, really interesting, and we're going to take a look at that. Overall, all the other cryptos pretty much in a bit of a sell-off. And what I really like, and I need to tell you, because it really makes me quite pleased here, quite happy. We sold the Near protocol. Well, we sold my sell order that was triggered of the Near protocol was just below $20, which was exactly the peak. I'm really happy that worked out exactly as the Harmony 1 sell order was also at the peak. So I'm really, really happy for everybody who's been following me with these buy and sell orders. Of course, you know, it's no financial advice, it never is, but I set my buy and sell orders, and you can choose to follow them if you're interested on Discord as a channel member. And you know, Cardano's buy order was at $1.08, which was the perfect low. So we've really, really timed it very, very well. And with Avalanche as well at $124, that was the peak as well. And yeah, it's working out. I think it's working out really good. And I know a lot of people are happy with these buy and sell orders. So if you're interested in joining the channel as a channel member, please check out either my website, you can find a link in the description, or you can join directly on YouTube. But enough with the adverts here. Let's just take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently looking a bit weak. Yeah, looking a bit weak. This is, in my view, still that wave 4. But as I said, a wave 4 can be quite long. I did tell you before. We won't spend much time on Bitcoin today because it's not that exciting at the moment. It is like that. You know, we saw the wave 4 here. And in the last few days, I've been talking about if this really is that wave 4 here, that higher degree wave 4, it could take a while to play out, you know, and it could be a bit of an up and down here. You know, we did that here as well in that region between 45.5 and 52K. We now are pretty much here in that range between 39.5 and 44.5K, right? So that's the range within which we are. And even though we were starting to form here a nice cup and a handle, I think that's over now. It doesn't really look like a handle anymore, even though nothing is over here yet, you know. Nothing is decided yet, so this could still very well play out. We have in the last day or so, we've had this trend line form here that you can see here, and this was then becoming something more like a triangle pattern, which then, if you come from above, would then rather suggest a continuation to the downside. Didn't see that before, well, just before this video really. I was still seeing here this cup and handle, but then only today really, throughout the day, while I was at work, this really formed as a triangle. We had really this adhering with 2 more touch points to this trend line here, and this is now currently dropping here. So yeah, at the moment it seems to be that we're losing here this, and we lost the support already and might now get a retest here of that now resistance level at 42.5K roughly. But nothing is over yet just because we lost that ascending trend line. I leave it on the chart for now because sometimes you get above it again. So we just want to leave it on the chart. We are still above this, you know, we had this channel here. So we came down in this channel, then found support and moved out of this channel without volume. which wasn't great. But what we're doing now, we lost that support, but we are still above this channel because this was a descending channel. Good that we got out of it. And now we're just sort of in a range here. So we'll just, you know, in my view, we should still come up a little bit higher once more into that target area. But we did already the minimum of what a wave 4 needs to do as per the rule book of the Elliott Waves. It came all the way to the perfect retracement level, well, not the perfect one, but the minimum one that it needs to do for a wave 4 before it then can move in a wave 5, which would be then that next sell off here. Yeah, but at the moment, next key support I would see here, well, where we are now here, which is that 42k level. Yeah, we found support here at the previous low. Now, if you then drop lower, I would personally see it at around 41k. You know, you've got a low here, a low here, a low here. That would be the next key support then. Obviously, the next main support, 39.5, and if you lose that, then I think that next wave to the downside is confirmed, because then you make a lower low. All right, looking at Cardano, that's what people are interested at the moment in. Cardano, as you know, we talked about it when Cardano broke here out of the descending wedge. That is when I made you aware of it. That was a great opportunity. The buy order was triggered at $1.08. I have to be careful. I bought at, that my other sell order was triggered, I think, at 125, which is still way lower than the current level. And then I bought again at $1.08, and that is really, really good here, what we are seeing now. We already moved all the way up to 158, I think, here on the daily. And we have, however, then pretty much been stopped by that descending trend line. I did show you that trend line before, that descending trend line here. Now, is it just a fake out? I more and more believe it might not be a fake out, and the more I look at the chart, and if we zoom out, we can see why. I mean, nothing is confirmed yet, yeah? And to really get, I said that, to really get a confirmed breakout and to get a more security about, is this a real breakout? I would want to break above that wave X here, yeah? But that is, of course, quite a long way. I prefer personally not to wait until then. This is at 245, and that would really, for me personally, because it's that whole dip here that we would then have overcome and made a higher high compared to that wave X or X. But yeah, I wouldn't personally wait for that. And my buy order was triggered here at 125 and $1.08. That's when I bought in, knowing that we could drop lower, yes, but I was happy to take that because the $1 mark is a very, very important support level. And on the daily, what we did see, and again, I've been talking about that for a while, is that bullish divergence that was forming here, which just indicates, it's a momentum indicator, it's a possible buy signal. It is a possible signal that, yeah, basically a buy signal, because you make a lower low here on the price chart, but a higher low on the RSI. That just means that the momentum is shifting. The momentum is increasing, yeah, while the price might go down, but the momentum is shifting to the upside, yeah, which means that the selling pressure is reducing. And we then saw a confirmation on the MACD as well, where we got a bullish crossover, which is another buy signal as well, and we broke above that descending wedge. So all of these things did come together, and we've been talking so much on this channel about this wave, how it mirrored, how this wave is just a larger element of that wave, just a copy of it basically. And it again, you can see it, just look at the chart again, you can see it even now, that we came down once more lower here in a descending wedge. You did a descending wedge back here before it broke out, and just look at it. I mean, I probably have to take out here maybe some of these elements that you can see it better, but I might even take out here that descending wedge and just look at the chart. I mean, look at the chart. It's just, look at that. You got a W here. You have your W here. Yeah. And if we take a look on the 8-hour chart, you can actually, I mean, there was this wick down here. Back here, you had another wick here, but if you took out that wick, which was really just a wick, you can see that you had a low here, and then you made a lower low, and that is when you moved away from it. And here you had also a low and a lower low, and that is when you start to move away. Can you actually see that this is exactly here, that 145 level is when the breakout actually happened last time, and we've now moved above that level. And last time you had also a high here before at that level, 145. This, by the way, this fib level that I've been talking about for a while, 145. This last time here, this in December, you had a higher high. You had at 160, you had the high. So I could very well think that 160 might be what was back then 145 in terms of a possible breakout point. So I think, you know, this could be the beginning of something big, and then you moved within just a few weeks to $3 level. So we can see at the moment that Cardano can outperform Bitcoin, and we had these questions on the channel, you know, can Cardano outperform Bitcoin, and can Cardano move up when Bitcoin is going down? And I said, of course, can outperform Bitcoin. It did it so many times before. We can just take a look at the ADA BTC chart and you can see it. The question is just, if Bitcoin does a drop now to 29K, can Cardano as well hold this level or move up? But it's just doing something very important, and it could be the beginning of something big. I personally, yeah, no financial advice, I wouldn't sell now, because the potential, if I look at the chart, what it did last time, it's just too big. Yeah, I could lose out on it. I'm happy to, even if it comes down, I'm happy not to have taken profits. Doesn't matter. Another opportunity will come, and Cardano will come up eventually. But at the moment, this is the breakout point here, 155, and we're just moving above it again while I speak. Getting more bullish here on Cardano, because this is really that breakout point. 155 and then 160 could be that major breakout point from which we then might even go parabolic. And I'm, you know, it is definitely a possibility. It is just looking at the chart from last time, you see that same pattern play out this time again. See that W pattern, even though the second low is lower, but Cardano did it before. Got exactly the same pattern, and then you started your rocket ship. And yeah, it could be finally that moment. And to be honest, Cardano did the correction, came into that target area here, took longer than expected. Well, of course it did. Well, not of course, but way longer, and we know that now. But still, it seems to be turning around. And again, that is the breakout point. And the next level for me would then the 181 level, the 0.618 fib level. That is an important level where I would see the next key resistance. And what else? I think that's it. That's it for now. If we take a look on the 1 hour chart, that it's maybe important. So what I said earlier in my video, and exactly that worked out, that while we came here to 155, that if we get some difficulties, the price will probably come back to either 145, and if it drops below that, you will come down to that ascending trend line. Now it did already stop at 145, which is actually quite a bullish sign. It did hold the 145 level, and I tell you that if the daily candle closes above 145, that would be, in my view, a really bullish sign, because that is then it means we are climbing above the fib level. It would be even better to close above that descending trend line, because then you are getting above the downtrend. Yeah, and we are currently about to break here this downtrending structure anyway, because you're about to make a higher high here. Yes, we've got the wick here, so we need to be a bit careful. That went all the way up to 160, but we're currently on our way to 160. We're currently breaking that descending trend line, and it's starting to look interesting. And then the last thing is that ADA BTC chart. I really just need to open it again, because again, it's working out. Even it took longer than expected, but throughout this downtrend, I always said, you know, we are losing here downward momentum. But of course, it took just longer than expected. Who could have told, who could have thought that this took from October, when we saw that momentum slowing down in that channel, that it would take until January to really see a reversal here. And this is a clear reversal. Is it sustainable is another question, but you're getting here really through the resistances without any issues. It's quite impressive at the moment. Yeah, it's looking really good. And Bitcoin is suffering while ADA is just going up. It's very interesting. So yeah, I'll keep a close eye on it for you. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.